Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Today the cast we've got coming to you is from the first Steel Division 2 official championship. This was filmed live on Twitch and I hope you enjoy. So this matchup on the left hand side in red, we have Finzent playing the 26th guard Strelkovi, and on the right hand side in blue we've got Frubblord playing the first Lovas. This deck is Finzent's deck. He is on balanced income. So what do we have in this deck? We have the Sniper 4 in A phase. Personally, it looks like as well they're with potentially a they're usually a 20-point unit, so he's obviously got them in a transport there. I'm not necessarily sure what the 26th get in terms of recon transports, but he's certainly got something there to up the price of those those snipery units. Infantry wise, we've got the Gvardia DP, we've got the Sappery in A phase as well, the Strafniki. They're going to be tough units to go through in A phase. And infantry wise, the 26th, they get some great infantry. We've also got the I think that's the Sturmoviki rocks, so potentially that snipery could be the M3A1 scout, which is what Rooster is mentioning. The game is underway from both players. We're just going to pause that and cover the decks in full. So the Sturmoviki rocks, 2-star vet in B phase, and that along with the Gvardia DP could leave potentially Finzent slightly short infantry wise in B phase. Potentially might have some carryover from the Gvardia, card of Gvardia, and the card of Gvardia DP in A phase. He does have the After Michiki in C phase and a card of Gvardia at 1-star, but actually not as much infantry in this balanced deck as potentially I would have expected. So that will be very interesting, because coming up against first Lovas, infantry is going to be tough. The Lovas infantry is very strong, so Finzent is going to need all the infantry he can get his hands on. He's going to have to micro his infantry very well to try and keep it alive, to contest against that Lovas infantry as long as possible. Tank wise, we've got the T-34Es in A, the IS-1 Komroti, and the KVs. Tank wise, we were saying a little bit earlier, they're going to really shine against first Lovas, and I think it's where the tank game that Finzent has to try and concentrate on gaining this victory. I think he's going to lose out infantry wise. He has to make gains with his tanks, and he has the tanks to be able to do that. What else do we have here? We've got 2 cards of ISU 152s, and it'll be interesting to see whether they come out. It will be interesting to see whether they come out, because almost a little bit overkill, but yeah, they are still very good units. And if Lovas, struggle to take out those ISU 152s, they can do a hell of a lot of damage with their 152mm cannons. Other than that, we have the ZSU M15 in the anti-air tab. Ooh, only 1 in A and then 4 in C, so potentially Finzent could be in a little bit of trouble anti-air wise. Also, no fighters in A, they're all in B phase with those Yak 9s. We do have some A phase off map, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also the A phase IL-237s, it's going to be free reign for them. So let's have a look at the deck for Frubblord. He is playing the first Lovas on Vanguard income, so very much going to be an early game. Well, I say it's going to be an early game focused deck, but look at the C phase cards in that infantry tab. One full card of Huzarok with 36 units in it. Oh my days, that is going to be tough for Finzent to deal with those Huzaroks. I feel like those Huzaroks in C phase are going to be just so difficult to come up against. And then he's also, I can't even read the other unit there. I'm looking at a smaller monitor at the moment, so I can't read the other C phase unit. But the Hungarian infantry is very, very strong, and yeah, Finzent is going to have a hard time coming up against this Hungarian infantry, or certainly the infantry. Tank wise, we've got the Turin 1 and Turin 2s, but like I said earlier, they are going to struggle. The Jagdpanzer 38T, I think Frubblord's going to have to rely on that Jagdpanzer 38T and also the Ju-87D5. He's got 4 of them in B phase, and actually Finzent, well, he had all of his fighters in B, but he didn't necessarily, he didn't have much anti-air, so potentially Frubblord could use his early air force and get some important kills. Also the 75mm AT guns, he's got a lot of them in B and C, so I believe they're the Pack 40s, and they will do a fantastic job as well. Let's jump into the game. So let's remind ourselves, Finzent on the left hand side playing the 26 guard Strelkovi in red on balanced income. Frubblord on the right hand side playing the first Lovas in blue on Vanguard income. So I expect the early game is going to be all Frubblord, and with his Lanzarote in that southern side, potentially he's going to have a good time of it in this little forest area. He's also pushing into the central side, so yeah, I think Frubblord is going to make some big gains early on. I think potentially Finzent could get bottlenecked into this southern side, and yeah, this could be a very interesting start. Finzent does get the Ognamachiki in there in time, and potentially will just get the VZ VOD up there. Oh, this is going to be interesting, that sometime. I still think the Lanzarote may well they're having north. Ooh, Frubblord with the 40mm Sea Saber off map. It's doesn't show me the off map, the millimeter of that off map, so we'll have to wait for that to come down. The Ognamachiki in there, and the Huzarok get caught out at long range from the Strafniki. There's going to be quite a tight engagement actually. I think Finzent has enough down here to at least hold his position at the moment. Frubblord placing a fantastic off map onto position, and that's really going to help him push forward in the early game. We have a Jagdpanzer 38T coming up the main road, and we've got a T-34E, but nothing. Well, we've got some M42 guns, 2-star as well back there, but down comes the off map. Nothing major. I'm thinking this is probably 76.2mm off map. Potentially Rooster saying it could be 105mm off map. Vulcan mentioning phase 8 off map again. Yeah, this is certainly turning out to be probably a relied upon strategy now. So certainly phase 8 off map. I mean, off map did get buffed fairly recently and has become quite strong, so certainly the players relying on this phase 8 off map. The VZ VOD coming forwards, and I think some Sapri have gone down. Yeah, this VZ VOD, if that goes down, then Finzent's going to be in real trouble on this southern side. He does have the Strafniki and Gvardia DP in reserve, so potentially still enough there, but he doesn't need to throw troop in after troop and lose the attrition war in that southern side. We've got 2 Lanzarote going to win out against the Ognamachiki. Frubblord picks up that flag. Finzent did have the early 13-11 back to a 12-12, potentially with the change of those flags. Down comes the second off map. It feels to me like this is 76.2mm, but yeah, it's it certainly seems like it's a common tactic, or it has been in the cast we've done so far. So yeah, competitive players, I think they are looking for these early off maps, and I think off map is in a very balanced state right now. I think it's not so great in, maybe it's not so great in team games because you can get a lot of them, but I think in 1v1 it's fairly balanced at the moment. We've got a T-34E coming into this southern side. That will be okay as long as it keeps its distance. The Huzaroks both have the anti-tank grenades, and potentially, you know, could pick off the T-34E if it's allowed to get close. But Frubblord not investing in any reinforcements for now, whereas Finzent has been investing in reinforcements. So I think over time Finzent might pick up that southern flag, but he is down 100 points to 150. Frubblord, I think, starting off with the off map and not really pushing heavily behind this off map. I was expecting this off map to come down and then Frubblord to launch major attacks coming through. Finzent has picked up this flag in this northern area and is pushing through infantry, but the PTRS 41 is all that really holds it, and Frubblord will be able to take that over time. The off map does now come down. Will we see any major kills or major advances? Frubblord's units are just kind of advancing on foot behind, And interesting play this, very slow and steady movements forwards. The Lanzarote do pick up the victory against the infantry units there from Finzent. The T-34E is in particular, you know, it's a unit that needs to be taken out by Frubblord. The 40mm AT gun is engaging the Guardia, well they have now backed off, and another T-34E coming in. And wow, yeah, we do have the Jagdpanzer. I think, did the original Jagdpanzer go down? Yes, it did. So I think the T-34E managed to get off the kill on that original Jagdpanzer 38T. So that was a nice engagement there. In the southern side, it still looks like it's a stalemate, but Frubblord has managed to push through the Lovas Felderitok and potentially could pick up a kill against this M42 gun behind enemy lines. That would be decent at all. Decent, and that would be a decent kill for Frubblord. Some more Jagdpanzer 38Ts coming up, and yeah, I'm surprised that T-34E got a nice kill. I suppose we are at fairly close range, probably less than 1,000 meters, but those Jagdpanzers, they do have the 105mm of armor. Yeah, I mean, Frubblord's going to struggle with the tank engagements. We've got a second one coming in now on the T-34E. Who is going to win out? I think the T-34E potentially, wow, yeah, does get the kill. I think with the help of something else, something else got a shot in there along with that T-34. I'm sure it did. But down goes another Jagdpanzer 38T. So these 38Ts are not doing fantastic for Frubblord there, and he has noticed, and please in comes another engagement. Down goes the T-34 this time, so doesn't win out 3 in a row. The M42 gun is just waiting, and does see its opportunity, opens up on that Jagdpanzer. Transmission damage, is going to get more chance, shoot a knockout. But the Jagdpanzer is starting to fall back, but it's doing it very slow due to the transmission damage. And I think, oh no, the AP is being used to engage. So the APCR has been turned off. We are using the AP at 75mm of penetration. So I think that was why that M42 gun, wow, it does go down there eventually to the close range Huzaroks. Still a stalemate in the southern side, but the Lovas Felderitok did manage to pick up the M42 gun kill, and it is moving very far forwards. It is a recon unit though, so isn't holding the front line, but potentially it gives Frubblord the opportunity to push forwards. He's certainly doing that with the 40mm AT gun on that southern side. Does pick up the flags in the centre, takes it to a 13-11, and infantry coming forwards into this northern side as well. Oh, these Huzaroks are in the open. Surely you'd want them in this building right now. Not quite sure why Frubblord hasn't got them in that building. Surely you'd want them there, and the 40Ms are doing a decent job as just being almost infantry guns against the infantry of the 26th. In comes the off-map for Finzent, 122mm. We are still in phase A, and Frubblord has got his units fairly spread out though, so nice little play from Frubblord, you know, keeping things spread out, whereas Finzent is definitely much more grouped together. And actually, if these Arkazits move forwards, that's terrible pronunciation. If they move forwards, you know, this off map might not do a hell of a lot of damage. But look at this territory gain. It's actually the AT gun that's gaining all the territory. Finzent, I think, potentially lost some reinforcements somewhere along the way. Definitely needs to reinforce this southern side. Hopefully he's recognising that, because Frubblord is now up to a 16-8. We'll pick up the victory in 15 minutes time. Finzent pushing back in against the Rohamarazoks and the Lanzaroks. We're attempting to pronounce the Hungarian infantry names. Doing a pretty poor job, but we're going to attempt. Frubblord has managed to maintain control of this compound, and really the infantry engagement is really coming down on Frubblord's side, like we expected. To be fair, we did expect this. I think Finzent maybe needs to bring in a few more of this T-34Es, because certainly in the early game, that was what was keeping him in this central ground. But Frubblord is going to win out, you know, solely infantry on infantry. Just the strength of the Hungarian infantry units is going to win him out in the long run. Still no units coming into the south, but it looks like somehow Finzent's kind of regained some control and kind of and is about to lose it again, so I'm not sure what was happening there. But Frubblord is pressing the attack in the southern side. A Hetzer potentially coming in, as well as a lot of Hungarian units, but there is still enough here from Finzent. It looks like potentially the Arcazits coming forward, potentially trying to get the Faust Patron off against the T-34E, just not managing it in time. So actually Frubblord is going to lose out to a potential counterattack here, and this Hetzer moving forwards, but could put himself in a difficult spot. This T-34E will still be fairly deadly at close range. Frubblord coming in with the plane off map there, and I think this is a lot more high quality, high caliber than the previous off map that Frubblord was using. So potentially a lot of units could go down here, and just in time for these Hussars to come straight. Hussars? Is that right? To come straight, the Hussars. To come straight into the town. The T-34E has just parked itself looking straight up the road. Frubblord, yeah, needs to unload those infantry units. Down comes the off map. And potentially Frubblord's got some nice positions here. Oh, does pin down his own Hussarocks. I thought they were going to move forward, potentially pick up some surrenders. The T-34E is still in a decent position. We've got Turan 1s. They are not going to be able to do the job unless they're right up close. It looks like Finzent using the off map on the northern compound, but only one squad of Hussarocks there, so they won't necessarily go down to that one off map strike. And it looks like Lanzarote versus Ognamachiki, they take each other out, but the Gvardia DP are there to hold the flag. 15-9 for Frubblord. Defeat for Finzent in 12 minutes time. He still has potential, and we are going to see a very small part of C phase at least. The Jagdpanzer 38T so close to an engagement with this T-34E. The Hussars moving forwards, but Finzent still has enough to protect this area. The 40Ms potentially could get a side shot, does get a crew knockout on the KV-85. This could be a big kill if Frubblord manages to side shot that ISU there. No, KV-85, what was I saying? But the KV-85, does it even see that AT gun? It is not yet engaging. What a lovely position from that 40M there from Frubblord in the southern side. The Hussars have moved forwards, are engaging the Gvardia in 2 against 1. No counter engagement from the Sapri. And I think Finzent is going to get overwhelmed in the southern side once the reinforcements from Frubblord do get in. Look at the criticals coming down on this KV-85. Another load of wounded and a crew knocked out. He has to take out this 40M. And Finzent has to use something, maybe some artillery, maybe a plane. Maybe just, you know, spotting where the unit's firing from and using attack ground command to make sure that KV-85 starts firing on that 40M. Look at the infantry in this centre ground. It looks like Finzent has managed to at least pick up a flag again in this northern side, but a massive amount of infantry coming in from Frubblord right now, and Finzent, I feel like potentially could be in a little bit of trouble here. He's spotting a lot of infantry of his own. 15-9 right now, 11 minutes left on the clock. Frubblord has pushed forward in this southern side. The T-34 has gone down to the Jagdpanzer 38T, and I feel like at least while this 40M stands around, Finzent's going to have a major problem pushing back in. These Sturmoviki rocks are just going to go down eventually to the 40M. Although, is it now? No, it does still have a lot of rounds available. I'm kind of surprised Frubblord hasn't pushed forward this second 40M behind. Excuse me, because clearly this one's been here for some time now. The Sturmoviki rocks do, you know, unload, but they're in a tough spot right now, in a real tough spot. I'd like to see maybe an AT gun come into this position. I think Finzent has to give up on this southern side for a little while, concentrate more on the northern side. It's 15-9 down, 10 minutes left on the clock. We are going to see at least some time in C phase, I feel like, an off map coming down on a lot of this Hungarian infantry, and this time it looks like Frubblord has got it all concentrated, so potentially we could see A lot more damage being done to this infantry. Frubblord putting down his off map of his own, and the Sturmoviki Guardia are right in the sight at the moment. It's going to be an important engagement in this central area. I think the southern side is lost to Finzent for the moment, and this central city I think is going to make or break the next sort of 5-10 minutes of this game. Down comes both off maps at a similar time. In fact, Frubblord actually came down first, and he's advancing right through the off map that Finzent has placed, but a lot of infantry just progressing through the open. Ooh, that's a harsh loss. The leader went down there, and I don't think there's enough infantry here to hold back the horde of Hungarians about to approach. KV-1Es coming in with T-34Es, and I think that's probably actually a good call. Invest in the tanks, because at least the Hungarians are going to struggle to take out those tanks. But look at the Huzaroks coming into this more northern central forest. It's going to be a nightmare trying to get rid of those Huzaroks. Down goes the off map, but I think all 3 strikes had been used, so not necessarily a definite loss. No spoilers in the chat, please. Not necessarily a definite loss. In comes the M42-45 into that central compound. The Jagdpanzer 38T is going to come around into a nice little position to potentially, have a little overwatch onto this southern area. The 40M is still there. Finzent really need to get rid of this 40M, but the central side is really hurting him right now. Frubblord 17-7 up, will win in 8 minutes 30 seconds, and it looks like he's well on top with this the advance of this Hungarian infantry. Oh, excuse me, the KV-1Es are going to come up and at least present a serious threat, although coming straight through another off-map strike. And the problem is any close range infantry, I think more so than the actual Turan 2s, the problem is more anti-tank weaponry coming from the infantry. The KV-1s do start to crest the hill. Oh my days, what is coming in response? The Ju-87D5 is going to have a nice little time against those KV-1Es. Let's look. Oh, only one of them goes down, so the other one did survive. But yeah, that one is now possibly in trouble. The T-34E is behind as well. The Turan 1's more off-map coming down. In comes a strike of potentially a Yak-1B trying to follow up that Ju-87 cluster plane. We will leave that for now. We'll concentrate on the T-34Es. Both of them falling back straight into the off-map of Frubblord, which seems to be going on. I don't know whether he still put another one down that I missed, but more off-map strikes continually coming down. And something went down, probably Finzent's Yak plane there. So I think potentially some anti-air. Yeah, the 36M did get that kill. Frubblord's picked up another flag in this central area. 17-7 right now. 7 minutes left on the clock, but Finzent's in real trouble. We are about to hit the C phase and they'll have a big income advantage, but the thing is with Lovas, a lot of their equipment is very cheap. $40Ms coming into that central area. G87D5 coming in for the T-34E on the northern side. Will that one pick up the victory as well? Let's have a look as that one comes in. Yes, does get the kill. And Frubblord using those Ju-87Ds to his advantage. We did mention that at the start. A ZSU M15 does come in. That's the only one that Finzent had in his deck up till C phase, and it's a bit of a shame that we're 18 minutes in until that MSU or ZSU has come out onto the field. But I guess he's been trying to keep up with the amount of units that Frubblord has put down into this centre ground. The Yak-9 is coming in, trying to pick off this Focke-Wulf 189A1. Oh, big off-map strike coming into this northern forest. A number of infantry units in there. And Frubblord's just kind of sticking where he is on this central area, and is just putting so many units in a defensive position along this entire ridgeline. It's going to be major trouble for Finzent to come back. And if you look at the disparity in units, Frubblord just has so much here compared to Finzent. Has really traded well with this Lovas deck. More fighters coming in, and Finzent focusing on the Frubblord's fighter, but down comes the off map into this heavy forest. A lot of units pinned down. Frubblord not really following up on this attack, but it just hurts Finzent. It's taking a lot of his units away. Down goes, I think that was a Guardia DP there. Finzent having to call in resupplies, which is really what he does not want to be doing right now. 4 minutes 40 left on the clock. Frubblord 16-8 up, and as long as he maintains his current position in the centre, it's going to be just incredibly difficult for Finzent to get back into this game. I feel like it may well be over for Finzent now. And the Hussars are pushing forwards into the compound, and I think 2 against 1 they will win out against the Guardia, especially with the the 16-man Hussarok squad there. So that potentially is going to be another flag for, even the, doesn't even need to engage, just takes the flag with the 2 squads there, and does now engage against that Guardia DP. We have got a Zis 3 gun on the field engaging the 40M. We didn't see a lot of kind of infantry support guns. And Finzent does call it there before the end of the game. I think it was definitely clearly going to fall in Frubblord's favour. Congratulations to Frubblord, commiserations to Finzent. 21 minutes in this game on Orsha. Frubblord picks up the victory. 2,500 kills to 1,000 losses. The Hungarians managed to win out in that match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Let's have a quick look at the kills for Frubblord. The 40Ms I feel like did a major job in that game. Maybe we've got some more kills further down, but it felt like they did a fantastic job. And the infantry, I think the Husaroks, the Hungarian infantry were always going to win out in that contest. More 40M kills here. The Jagdpanzer 38T did get 2 T-34E kills in the end. I think this is the 3rd one, because 2 of them did go down fairly early on. The Hussars did win out against the Guardia and the Strafniki. Nice kill against the Strafniki there. I think this is in the southern side, in that southern forest. Another Jagdpanzer picking up the Strafniki and the T-34E kill. The off map there, not doing too much damage, but I think where this was won was the infantry matchup. Just so many infantry kills from Frubblord, and not so much response. The Nimrod picking up 2 Yak 9 kills at the end there. Very nice job. Let's just look at the kills for Finzent. The T-34E did pick up that early Jagdpanzer 38T kill. Wasn't the first kill in the game, but nice kill there from those T-34Es. The second one did pick up the second Jagdpanzer kill. But after that, the infantry is kind of trading 1 for 1, whereas Frubblord's infantry was trading, 1 for 4. So definitely the infantry was where Frubblord won it. And I'd have liked to have seen maybe some more armour come out on the side of Finzent throughout that game, because that was where Lovas were going to struggle. So, like I say, congratulations to Finzent, commiserations to Frubblord. Let's have a look at how that affects the bracket in this tournament. So this was a round 2 game. Finzent won out previously against Lieutenant Marthy in what looked like a decent game. I think Lieutenant Marthy may have, potentially could have come into that game, but Finzent was able to finish it off before Phase C. And kind of the opposite happened to Finzent. He went into the game against Frubblord and was unable to get through to Phase C. Frubblord finished that one off. Will progress through to round 3 and joins Pixie and Solo Wing Pixie and Gonzo as the first 3 players through to round 3 of the first Steel Division 2 Championship.